So when I woke up this morning and heard this news, I was shocked. I genuinely didn't think this was real. I thought it was like a troll or something because Nintendo never usually does stuff like this. Since they added the Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 soundtracks to Spotify. And it just doesn't make sense, since they already have their own music streaming app with Nintendo Music. And it is a somewhat competent way to listen to soundtracks of Nintendo games. It's far from perfect, because there's the drip feed. It takes forever for them to add soundtracks to this. I had to wait a whole year for Thousand Year Door to be added, and then even longer for another Paper Mario game with Origami King to be added. So it's like, if you want to listen to your favorite Nintendo games, chances are not all of them will be available on that app. I would say things like YouTube or KH Insider are probably better ways of listening to Nintendo music and probably have more of what you want, but it still is competent. I would say the quality is good for the most part. And the selection is fairly good now compared to how it was quite a while ago. But at the same time, it's just kind of weird that they actually added a couple soundtracks out of nowhere on Spotify. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I actually think it's great for Nintendo to allow people to listen to these soundtracks in more places. Ideally, that's what they should do. I know they aren't gonna do that, but still, I think availability of this music is important, and it is good to have it on different apps and streaming services and things. But it may sound good that Galaxy 1 and 2 are on Spotify on paper, but then you realize they're only on here for a limited time. So they're basically going back to 2020 and pulling their strategy from the Mario 35th anniversary. I would not think Nintendo would do something like that again. It kind of seems like they left that strategy back during the mid-Switch era. It didn't really seem like they would do something like that again. I mean, I guess in this case, it kind of makes sense, as the soundtracks are on Nintendo Music, so they wouldn't really want to have it anywhere else for that long. But that just begs the question, what is the point of this? A lot of people just won't even bother because they know it's available other places, and some people who primarily use Spotify to listen to music will just be annoyed when it's eventually removed. So it really just is kind of annoying and pointless, and I feel like there are better ways Nintendo could have promoted the Galaxy soundtracks, because this was clearly for promoting the Galaxy movie, as well as Galaxy 1+2. I believe the movie released in Japan recently. I think that's why they were pushing this out now. But I feel like there are better ways of pushing this soundtrack out in that way. I feel like they could have opened up Nintendo Music to non-NSO subscribers, maybe have a separate subscription for it, maybe 99 cents a month, a few dollars a year could have worked. They could have even had a free trial for it, so people could listen to it for a couple weeks and see if they wanted Nintendo Music or not. I feel like that would have been a lot better. And I feel like another option would have been to permanently add them to Spotify, as well as other music services as well, like Apple Music and different things, just a full-on soundtrack release. I think that would have been interesting, since even though it's on Nintendo Music, I feel like it would have been a way for Nintendo to almost kind of promote Nintendo Music. They provide a sample on other services, and then there could be some kind of advertisement or something saying that, oh, if you want to listen to more Mario soundtracks or more Nintendo soundtracks in general, you could get Nintendo Music, or you could get Switch Online to listen to Nintendo Music, or that subscription service idea that I mentioned before. I think that would have made a lot of sense too, because if they are committing to adding this to Spotify, at the very least, people can continue to listen to this. And I feel like it might even be a good way to promote Nintendo Music. So I think there are a lot of ways that they could have done this better. I feel like there's a possibility that this might have just been a deal with Nintendo and Spotify, Spotify wanted to help Nintendo promote this, or get more Nintendo fans on Spotify or something like that. It probably was some kind of little promotional deal with this, but still, I think there are a lot of ways they could have handled this better. Oh, and one other thing. They didn't even credit the composers under each of the songs, which I think is really disrespectful. I know there is a culture in Japan of composers and artists not necessarily needing to be credited, but I feel like since Nintendo is a worldwide company, I feel like it kind of is an obligation for them to credit artists under different songs and things. I think that is kind of important for a worldwide audience. And this isn't an issue exclusive to the Spotify release of Galaxy 1 and 2, because this is also an issue on Nintendo Music as well, and I feel like on Nintendo Music, it's a little worse because, like, some games that are on there have Western composers or are games that were developed in different countries where cultures differ, so I feel like just overall, Nintendo really should credit artists and composers under things. But anyways, let me know what you think of all of this down in the comments, and thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!